Today we're going to be talking about a crazy dental procedure that this lady had to endure, okay? Talking about multiple crown removals, cavities, root canals. Okay, Alex, what's wrong with that? You get put under anesthesia. Well, what's wrong with that? One, the anesthesia was well over the limit. And all the root canals, crowns, and you got the cavities and the fillings and all. That was all done on the same visit. Wait, what? We're going to get into it. But before we do so, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Also like, subscribe, and hit the thanks button as well. Now let's get into this. Woman sues dentist after 4 root canals, 8 dental crowns, and 20 fillings in a single visit.
You said what now?
Bruh, that's crazy. I've never had I had my wisdom teeth removed. Had the bottom 2. My mouth was, it was a hot mess. I remember my boss, she looked at me. I was working at a microbiology lab, and she looked at me. She was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I had my wisdom teeth removed." I could barely move my mouth. I was like, "I have my wisdom teeth removed." And she was like, "You need to go home." She's like, "Just go home." She's like, "We'll be okay." Because my face was like a football player. My face was freaking swollen, yo. It was a hot mess, okay? But that's the thing. You're not supposed to have all this stuff done in one visit, okay? I had my crown removed at the top right of my mouth. Had that removed. And, you could get that, get some fillings before they do the crown separately. But you're not supposed to have root and canals, wisdom teeth removed. You get braces in the same day after you ain't supposed to have all that. So we are going to get into this. Kathleen Wilson filed the lawsuit in Hennepin County District Court accusing Dr. Kevin Molldrem of Molldrem Family Dentistry in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, of providing negligent treatment in July 2020 that caused significant injuries to Wilson, along with providing unsafe dosage of anesthesia and falsifying medical records to cover it up. So before we even get into that, this is his practice, okay? This is the address of it, all that. This is his thing. Now you may say, okay, 12 Google reviews, 2.8. Ooh, that's really bad. Well, here's the thing. Because I went through the reviews just to see, like, okay, what was going on. So essentially what was going on, you had people who, after they seen that the story broke out, they gave him a 1-star review. People who just, you ain't even from the area, and they gave him a 1-star review. So they were like, okay, 1 star, you're terrible. You should never have done this to this woman. 1 star, this is terrible. I can't believe you did this to this woman. It was like 3 of them or something like that. The legitimate ones, it was from like 4 years and 10 years ago, I believe. It was like 3 of them that I saw. 3 or 4, I believe, is what I saw. And one of them, about 4 of them, I think, were all 5-star. And then one of them was at 1 star, and it was talking about like, okay, why are you charging for, a single visit, whatever. They're like, you can go to other places and they want to charge you, but you guys are charging. So, you got an overcharge thing that's going on there. Yeah, some people who give 5-star and they were like, oh, I don't like the fact that other people are giving you, 1 star and stuff like that. So just because it says 2.8, that's not necessarily saying, okay, out of 12 reviews, people really hate it. You had some people, most of them really, who never even went to this practice. So there's that, but let's get into it. It says Wilson's legal team retained Dr. Avram Goldstein, a dentist in Florida, to provide an expert opinion and review Wilson's medical records from Molldrem and subsequent providers. Goldstein's November 14th report identified various duty of care breaches. Goldstein said in a report that Molldrem made the right diagnosis, but he provided poor quality treatment, i.e. doing all this stuff in one day. Wilson had decay on, quote unquote, virtually every tooth in her mouth, something that is quite rare. Goldstein wrote, Molldrem's attempt to restore all of Wilson's teeth in one visit did nothing to address her susceptibility to disease or potential of losing teeth, he said. Katie required a slow, thoughtful, careful, and measured response to her disease. Trying to fill every hole in every tooth in her mouth in one visit is not only the antithesis of what was indicated, it is not humanely possible to achieve in an effective or constructive manner, i.e. you shouldn't have done it. Goldstein said, adding that it is inconceivable to address 28 teeth in 5.5 hours. The maximum dosage is 490 milligrams, and this is of the anesthesia. But he gave her 960. Uh-oh. Wilson's records show that Molldrem said he administered 8 tubes of dental anesthetic known as carpals, but Goldstein found the first dose alone was 8. So he said, I gave 8 tubes of this anesthetic to her, but the first dose was 8. He then administered 15 carpals throughout the visit. Uh-oh. Wilson went to a different dental office for an evaluation showing recurrent decay and other damage. For several months in 2022, she was being treated at the University of Minnesota Dental School for repair and replacement of many of her restorations in an attempt to stabilize her mouth. Beyond medical costs, Wilson said that she suffered pain, embarrassment, disfigurement, and distress. She is seeking at least $50,000 in damages. I'm gonna be real. I'm getting you for more than 50,000 because, I mean, one, you're not supposed to. One, you gave her way too much anesthesia. I don't know if people know, but you can die from that if you get too much. Okay, you gave her root canals, crowns, and you went and did cavity fillings, and I'm sure you did a cleaning on the same day too. It's just, that's a lot of stress on the mouth. And that's crazy. I'm sorry. I mean, there's nothing. How is it that you thought that that was okay? That would explain how many Google reviews you got. You only got 12. Only 12. Yeesh. You know, because the doctor I went to, my black doctor, he doesn't accept my insurance anymore, but whatever. But the one I went to, he has hundreds and hundreds of reviews. So I'm like, okay, your last one was from like, I think it was like 10 years ago or something. It's like, okay, you got a 5-star, but nobody else was reviewing you. Maybe because you ain't as good as you think you are. Meanwhile, over here, people are giving reviews left and right. So, but let me know what you all think about said story down below.